This is the V30. Feyachi sent me their newest Red Dot to evaluate. It's a 2 MOA red dot with 10 levels of brightness and features like motion sensing activation and auto-off. Features usually found in more premium brands, but in this case for less than half the price. And we're going to see if it's a real value or you get what you pay for. This is the Feyachi V30 Red Dot, and it comes in this nice hard plastic case. Oftentimes you'll get these accessories, including Feyachi's, in plain brown cardboard boxes, but a lot of Chinese makers, including Feyachi, have started to ship their optics as well as their weapon lights and other accessories in these nice hard plastic cases. Inside, you'll see that the plastic case is also nicely padded. It comes with an instruction manual in English, which is always a plus. And you'll find a set of flip-up lens covers, which is also a nice upgrade from just silicone bras. And let's see, yeah. And we have the high riser mount, which is a 0.83 inch Picatinny rail adapter, and nicely skeletonized, by the way. And we have our optic itself, which also looks quite nice. It comes pre-installed with a low riser mount, Picatinny rail mount, and it also comes with a flash hider on the front. Now, what flash hiders do is it's a plastic grill that suppresses the reflection off of, or glint off of, the front lens, unless you're just perfectly angled. But if this helps keep you from giving away your position and your location just from the reflection off of the front of the lens. And also, if you are inclined to play airsoft, this also protects the front of your lens, because these lenses are not tempered glass. They can be quite fragile when hit with any sort of projectile object, including a plastic BB, surprisingly enough. The rear lens is not protected, but it is quite clear. I don't know if you can see that from here. A little bit of a bluish tint, but otherwise pretty clear glass. You can see a little bit of an edge of the laser emitter on the diode on the right, but that's actually pretty recessed, pretty nicely recessed. I believe the Vortex also has the same visible emitter on the bottom right, so this is pretty good. And it has the controls on the left side of the body for turning it on, power, as well as changing the brightness. There are 10 brightness settings, so up and down. And let's see, can I see it? Did that turn on? I put in the battery. Okay, there we go. I can see it now. I don't know if I can get that onto the camera. It's always a little bit iffy being able to see it on camera when it's not focused when the camera's not focused for infinity. And I go into that, and there we go. You can kind of see it. It's not as obviously it's not going to be as focused, because right now we're focusing on this table, which is only about 2 feet away from the camera, so this is going to look weird. I go into why that is in another video, but just so that you know that it's on. And this also has a nice feature that it has a auto shut off after 1 hour of no use. This will turn off to conserve battery, and it will automatically turn on if it is bumped or shaked in any way. And I've tested it. It is very sensitive. Even just picking it up will turn it back on again. So just be sure to turn it off, because it is a nice backup feature that it turns off after an hour. But if you're going to be mounting this on a truck gun or somewhere that has even just a little bit of movement, this thing will never turn off, essentially, because it'll always have a little bit of unless it's totally still, and you're safe somewhere, then it will turn back on again. So just be sure to turn it off. And that's pretty much the case with every red dot. The battery case, as I might have mentioned, I put in a battery just to test it out a little bit earlier. But the battery case itself does not have any sort of dial feature. All of that is actuated by these buttons in terms of brightness setting, and it's only in red, so that's fine. The turrets are the turret covers are nicely knurled, very tactile in terms of being able to take them off. And what I like about this is that it has a sort of Hollow Sun style flat adjustment tool built into the turret covers, and the windage and adjustments, this little raised flat head fits in there, and you can hear the turret adjustments, and also very tactile, so that's nice. And the turret covers have O-ring seals to keep the water out, so that's also very nice. All right, we're going to switch out this low riser rail for the high riser rail, and we'll get this installed on my rifle, and we'll test it out. I wanted to test if it was truly IPX5 waterproof, which means that it can resist low pressure water jets. Now obviously this is a bit more than low pressure, but you know, I've tested other budget red dots and they failed this test because they couldn't keep the water out. And I really wanted to know if the Feyachi V30 could step it up and be better than budget. And yes, it was still on, and the brightness buttons did still work. Now the real test was half an hour later when I let the unit dry. Now if there's any moisture that had seeped in, it would cause fogging on the inside of the lenses, and there was none. And I could find no moisture underneath the caps, so yeah, this passed the test. Now on to the range. Mounting it to the Picatinny rail of my rifle was pretty straightforward. I cinched it down finger tight. Now, the high-rise mount was designed to co-witness to the iron sights of a mil-spec AR, but it has a secondary advantage of acting as a see-through mount. Visually, I'm able to align the iron sights to the number 8 above my target, and I'm going to use that as the rough 0 point for the red dot. And here you can also see the quality of the glass, and bear in mind you have the flash hiders also installed. There's a slight tint, but overall a very good sight picture. The reticle was easy to adjust to the turret's provided very tactile feedback as well as audible clicks. After this initial dial-in, I was able to get my first shot on paper, and after that make the fine adjustments to really zero out this optic. And after a few more shots to confirm it was zeroed, I moved on to the simulated heavy recoil and abuse test. Alright, to simulate recoil and just regular use and abuse, we're going to give it the old ammo box abuse test. Whoops, I just shattered the front lens cover, broke that off. That's my bad. Okay, that's pretty good amount of abuse there. Let me just take that off. So while I struggled to remove the remnants of this shattered lens cover, I thought it would be a good time to promote my new channel, Moondog R&D, where I review electronics, gadgets, photo equipment, and random geeky stuff. Alright, so we're going to see if this still holds 0 after getting banged up. Alright, let's see what we can see through the spotting scope here. And yeah, it held 0 even after I thrashed it. Okay, so we'll say that this thing passed. Now, despite my range buddy chuckling at my destruction of the lens cap, we were both impressed by how well this budget red dot performed. It not only met, but it exceeded all of its specs, so I want to thank Feyachi for sending this out to me for review because, frankly, I was surprised. And if you're interested in picking up one of these, I'll include a link in the video description. If you happen to be on a device that doesn't show the video description or allow you to click on links, don't worry, just go to my website, moondogindustries.com, and you'll find links there. If you happen to be watching this today, on the day I release this video, it's Amazon Prime Day. And right now, this red dot is 20% off. I've included a link to the Feyachi store in the video description and on my website because today some of their products are going for up to 50% off, so definitely go check it out. And even if you're watching this and it's no longer Amazon Prime Day, Hey, it's less than 68 bucks, so I still think that's a really good value. Well, that's my opinion anyway, and if you happen to share my opinion, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And if you don't agree with my opinion, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Moondog, out. Hey, if you like this video, please share it on social media. You know, Facebook, forums, MeWe, whatever platform you're on. And if you want to see more videos, check out moondogindustries.com.